I've been a Mason for nearly 10 years. I became a Mason because several of my friends at the time were talking about it, and not necessarily in a great light. They believed some of the things they'd read on, in books or on the internet or had heard through hearsay, that sort of thing. So I started to research it, and when I researched it, I found a lot of good things about Masonry, a lot of charitable work, and a lot of things that they were actually doing in my community, which was up in North Dakota at the time. And that intrigued me. I wasn't interested in many of the other things they were talking about. Instead, I was interested in just doing some good for the community. And the group of guys I found at the lodge were doing good. And I asked them how I could become part of it. And I filled out a petition, and they invited me in. Again, I actually visited a lodge. So I drove to the lodge and walked in and kind of knocked on the door. And they were actually in lodge at the time, so I waited outside. And when they were done, they walked out and were surprised to see me sitting there. And I said, hey, I'd like to become a Mason. How do I start? And they said, well, fill out a petition. You have to, know a Mason to join or become acquainted with one if you don't currently. And it turned out I did know some Masons, so I filled out the petition, handed it in, and then went through the proper procedure to become a Master Mason. Masonry means to me a lot in our current society. It means a higher standard of morals and ethics, and a way to kind of guide yourself into being a better person or a better man or a better citizen. It means doing some charitable work, helping your community whenever possible, doing anything possible to do some good. Charity. Masonry means charity in the way of anything you can imagine that is of benefit to society, with or without the lodge, with or inside or outside the lodge, of course. Public schools, elderly, military, etc. It's about charity and doing good for others. Masonry fits in my personal life. My father-in-law is a Mason, and becoming a Mason. And I'm active personally in the lodge on about a weekly basis or daily basis if you count online. And personally, my wife is involved with talking to me about Masonry, seeing the benefits that I receive and that my family receives from me being a Mason, just from my attitude, my enjoyment of life, doing some good things. I come home and just in a great mood. So my personal life is greatly affected in a positive manner. My daughter, who is currently 6, plans on becoming Job's daughter, and so she's very excited anytime she's able to come and watch the Job's daughters do their practice or do their singing and that sort of thing. And she just loves to do it and can't wait till she's 10. So my personal life is greatly affected. My 6-year-old asked, "Are you going to lodge?" And she's upset that she can't come with sometimes. So it's very positive. A man could become a Mason today by either knowing a Mason and asking him. A lot of people believe, I've heard, that they think that you need to be asked to be a Mason. Like I would ask a stranger or a friend even that is not a Mason, "Hey, would you like to join me in Masonry?" And that's not the case. I can't do that. It's not generally accepted. And the opposite is true, where a Mason or a non-Mason must ask me to become a Mason. A friend must come to me and say, "Hey, I heard you're a Mason. I'd like to become one." Some Masons believe that you must ask 3 times. So if a friend were to ask me once, I would consider whether that person would be fit for Masonry and whether Masonry would be fit for them, and suggest them to be a Mason. Some people believe you need to ask 3 times, so sometimes you need to ask 3 times to become a Mason. Or if you don't know a Mason, contact your local Grand Lodge either on the internet using Google or the Yellow Pages, and they'll tell you to contact the secretary of your local lodge.